It is a very beautiful morning here in the city of Lagos. Today is the 25th day in the month of June 2025. Yes, that is to tell you that the month is gradually rounding up. By next week, we would be shouting bye-bye to June 2025, and we'll be welcoming July. How has your week been? How has the month been? Now we have done 6 months out of 2025. Have you had a reflection, your thoughts? What have you been thinking? We have talked about a lot here on the show. Welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television, where we are reaching out for the stars. Yes, we are reaching for the stars and to surpass the stars. We are streaming live on Facebook. On our YouTube page, you can always check us. All the past topics we've treated, go to our YouTube page. Download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. We are in the era of technology, so watching us should not be a problem. But for those who are still at home, you can check us on our Star Times channel. And of course, we are on Oppo Prime, free to air. Anywhere you see us, we are there, always live. Family and Value is a show that runs Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just like I'm in your face this beautiful morning. Yes. You're wondering what's the name of this damsel this morning. I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu. My name, my culture, my heritage. I'm not always doing this alone, but this week I have to because my partner and co-host, Mama Gen Z, as we call her on the show, Lori AJ, is still having her rest. I know a lot of you are wondering, why have I not seen Mama Gen Z? She's resting. And when she comes out, she will come out radiant blue and fine. Tell her we miss her anywhere you see her. Tell her Family and Value miss her. All right, to everyone celebrating, we wish you the very best. If you're celebrating your birthday, you're marking your anniversary, or, just something special that you feel you should celebrate, we wish you the very best. And to anyone who is grieving this period, our condolences are with you. To all the victims, to the ones that died in the Benue, the Okopoli, everyone, we are sending our condolences and our sympathies. Our heart goes with you because we are family. It's family. It's you and I. Family is a part of a bonding, togetherness. That is what family is all about. So here on the show, in as much as we celebrate great wins, we also condole with those who have lost loved ones. So we celebrate and we also grieve with you because we are family. I'm excited this morning because today's conversation is very key, very important, but at the same time, I would love you to understand the message behind it and change. Share the stories, share the topic, share it. Please go to our YouTube page. All the topics we have treated is there. Share it to someone. You never can tell whose life you are touching this morning. All right, let's go on our minute feature. And when we return, we are going to start the conversation proper because we don't have so much time to waste. Today's on, you can't miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. That was our mini feature, and this morning we will be discussing parenting from unhealed wounds. Parenting from unhealed wounds. Yesterday we had a conversation, a very deep conversation, where we talked about your child feeling what you felt, what you once felt, and today we are doing a kind of follow-up to that conversation, and we are talking about parenting from unhealed wounds. What we are seeing these days is a display of past trauma in parents transferring their aggression on their kids or on their children. Parenting from a place of hurt, a place of pain, a place of depression, thinking the unhealed wounds you have not healed from, you now use it to parent your children, and we are causing more harm to them. And this morning, to join us in this conversation, we have our very own person in the house. I don't know, Olori will call him Bishop. Oh, well, I call him Oluremi. Now, wow, he is a relationship coach. He's a parental coach. He is, in fact, all in one. He's an author. And, well, you can also add a pastor to his title, even though he doesn't want to always be addressed like that. Please, can we have Oluremi join us here on the show? Okay, I think we are still trying to get Oluremi to join us here on the show. Hello, can we have Oluremi, please? Okay, while we wait for them to fix that, let's quickly go on a break. We'll be right back. a little delay because we need to make sure that our guest network is very okay. I guess now we can have our guest for this morning's conversation, Oluremi Lawa. Good morning and welcome to the show. Sorry, we've kept you waiting. Good morning. Can we please have Remi Lawa this morning? Hello. Hello, can we have Remi Lawa on the screen? Okay, while we wait for them to quickly fix that, I don't know, the network this morning is a bit shady. We would be discussing parenting from unhealed wounds. Now, what does it mean to parent from unhealed wounds? It means you are carrying trauma, you're carrying uncleared issues in your mind as a result of growing up. Maybe something happened to you. Like yesterday, I said something on the show. I said, you were raped and then you had no choice but to give birth to that child. You could raise that child from a place of bitterness. If proper healing has not taken place, you'll be raising that child from a place of hurt and bitterness. And that is why we used to advocate here on the show. If you are divorced or separated from your partner, co-parenting, healthy co-parenting is key. So that one person don't raise children from a place of unhealed wounds, bitterness, and anger. Because when you transfer this aggression to the children, it shows in them physically, emotionally, spiritually. It shows. The guest yesterday was telling us how teenagers will come to her, because of course she's a school teacher, and how teenagers will come to her to complain and say, oh, my mom did this or my father did this and all that. We don't want to accept the fact that these children have their own lives, and so we want to impose lives that we did not live on our children. That is why I'm really concerned about the network. This morning's conversation, I know Remi Lawa would do justice to it. Even if it's 10-15 minutes we have him on the show, I know he would definitely, because he's an advocate. He loves children, and he's one of the parental coach that will tell you, let children be, heal first. And how do you heal? You start healing by practicing self-love and self-awareness. We've overemphasized self-love, self-care for yourself. I usually say something. If you don't love yourself, you can't give out love. That's just the truth. If you don't practice personal love, you can't give out love. What are you going to give out? What are you going to give out? When you wake up every day, you don't appreciate your body. You don't appreciate where God has brought you or who God has created. You're not going to appreciate anything. That's why every little thing, you transfer aggression on the kids. You're healing. You're parenting from a place of unhealed wounds. Wounds that you had maybe as a result of family issues or experiences you had. I'll share a story with you. I was talking to someone concerning this topic, and the person said something. He said, if you have been with a partner for, let's say, 8 years, and in the process you had an issue, you had a child for that partner, and then 2 years down the line, that's making 10 years, right? The partner says, oh, I'm done. I don't want this relationship. I want to move on. She made a key statement. She said, whatever the amount of love you have for that partner automatically transfers to anger and bitterness. And if God does not help you, or if you don't get help, counseling help, instantly you're transferring that aggression on the children or on that child you have gotten. You see transfer of aggression. You see transfer every little thing. The bitterness in you is what you pour out on that child. Parenting from unhealed wounds. And how are you going to heal? I said practice self-love, self-care, self-love. Understand that you cannot beat yourself for the mistakes. The mistakes have happened. It's for you to move on. We discussed moving on and how you can move on, strategic ways on how you can move on, Build a community, express yourself, go out, understand that it has happened. And in as much as it has happened, definitely you can't put your blame on your children. They were not there when all these things happened. You chose your life, you chose your pattern, and when experiences of life hit you, it's not fair for you to make the children the next ones, to receive the bombshell. Now, let's go on our word of mouth. And when we return, I'm hoping that Remy Lawa should be able to join us in this conversation. I really, really want him on this conversation this morning. Mabu said, a wound unfelt is a wound unhealed. Now imagine you cut yourself, and every time you're seeing that wound, if that wound was inflicted on you by an individual, for every time you see that wound, the bitterness, the pain, the remembrance comes up. That is how parenting is. When you parent from a place of unhealed wounds, it tells on the children. I don't know if we can have Remy Lawa on our screen this morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? I think the network is very bad this morning. Good morning. Oh,
Good
thank God
morning.
you're
Good
here. Good
morning.
morning to you. Good morning. I believe you can hear me there. But let me ask this first question. What does it mean to parent from a place of unhealed wounds? What does it mean, for parents to parent from a place of unhealed wounds?
Well, it simply means that you have been wounded as a person, and it is difficult to be an African and not be wounded. The environment is either wounding you, your parents are wounding you, or the economic situations will be wounding the person. So we all in Africa seem to be parenting from the place of wound, and it simply means that things are not going our way. So these wounds are largely emotional. They are not physical. I don't know if I can be heard.
Yes, you can be heard loud and clear. I'm hearing you.
Okay, so these wounds are emotional. Unfortunately, we ask people to heal, and you only heal from something you know that you're going through. Like the word of Bible said, a pain not felt, not a pain felt. It's a pain not felt. So when these things happen, most of us do not know that they have left wounds in us. And there are two ways that these things manifest. Like I saw from your mini feature, it manifests in positive ways and in negative ways. So the positive ways is what turns us into helicopter parents. You're always interfering in everything that has to do with your children, You don't want them to feel the pains you felt. You don't want them to go through natural tendencies. Every child must go through his or her own fair share of pain and challenges. If it's possible for parents who are wounded to walk, talk, and glide for their children, they will do it. That's the positive aspect. So, what you do is you shield that child from understanding that life is about taking responsibility. You're never going to be here forever to shield that child. The child will have to mingle with the society because somebody hurts you. You no longer trust people, so you transfer that lack of trust to your children. So when they ask you, you hear parents quickly say to their children, he's introverted, she's introverted, she loves her space, he loves his space. So you are the one who is culturing your child to behave as if he or she loves her space. You're the one who has built emotional walls, shielding your child from the pain that you went through. Your child has not gone through any disappointment, failure, or abandonment. It was you that thing happened to, but now you're bleeding on your child. And to other people, the negative aspect is that the pain they had, they are bleeding on the people around them, especially their children. You mentioned something particularly which I like, and this is specifically for single parents who had terrible separation with their partners. Go and check yourself. You see all of those things you do that you're parentifying your child, the child you have with that person you divorced. What you're doing to them, you're hurting them, you're hurting their future. You cannot parentify them, you cannot transfer your love that you have for your spouse to those children. It doesn't happen because love, has different faces. The way you would love your wife or your husband is not the same way you would love your children or your parents. So love takes on the face of what it is expected to do per time. That's why the way we love God is not the same way we love any human being. It is different, and yet it is the same love. So that love you're transferring to your child because there is no spouse, I don't think it's right. Are you telling me that when that spouse shows up, you're going to withdraw that love? And then the other one is there's this deep-seated pain in our hearts that always comes up, like you rightly said. When it comes up, you just realize that you're hitting your children way more than what they did. When you are done, you sit back and say to yourself, even though you're not going to voice it out, you will say to yourself that I think I overdid this. Those are the ways that unhealed wounds, they manifest in parenting. And it's something that we all need to pay close attention to because we kept on, we've done this over the centuries, destroying other people's destinies and beautiful lives with the pains that we are coming with. Just yesterday, I had a couples therapy session where I told them that there's nothing wrong with their marriages. I realized that the baggages they brought in is what they are actually on each other, and it's already affecting their children. So that's just my thought about that.
All right, thank you very much. Now I'm going to ask you two questions in one. And my first question, the two questions I want to ask is, how can parents, what are those signs that a parent will look at herself or himself and know that I'm parenting this child from a place of my own unhealed wounds? And how does parenting from a place of unhealed wounds affect a child's emotional development? Let's have those two questions together.
Okay, number one, to know you're parenting from a place of unhealed wounds. First and foremost, take notice of those things I said at the beginning. Are you shielding your child from something? The fact that I was involved in an accident, I was the one who was involved in an accident. I shouldn't shield my son from going to the road just because a vehicle hit me. So when you realize you're becoming overprotective, you're not allowing your child to face natural tendencies, face natural challenges that comes with being a human being. You are parenting from a place of unhealed wound. And then how does it affect your children? You're going to raise dependent children, or if it is the negative part of it, you're going to raise recalcitrant children who would never give a damn about anything, and they would never amount to anything. It becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle that after you're done, your children will repeat it because you took it over from your own parents or from your, caregivers or guardians. And now you are transferring it to another child. It becomes a way of life in the family. I had another couple last night, yesterday afternoon. Both of them were busy unleashing their parental, training on each other, and it was ruining their marriage until I opened their eyes to it that look, this is not you, both of you in operation. These are your parents in operation. So you need to understand that you have your independent life and your parents have their independent life. So you now have to start living as you and let your parents be. So it ruins the life of a child because that child cannot have independent decision. Imagine a young man who is married at 43 still goes home to take instructions from his mother before he can commune with his wife. It is that bad. You see, a child who would always take his children to his parents for them to scold his children because he cannot do it. So he sees what his parents are doing as the best in this time and age when children are evolving, humans are evolving. So that's how it damages a child, and it can actually, which is the worst part of it, see, it triangulates the life of a child. Parenting from the place of unhealed wound would triangulate the life of a child. You put the child in an intersection where the child does not know which path to go, and most often than not, children who are parented from unhealed places, they end up with wrong careers. They never find fulfillment in life. Or if they do, all they will chase is money to prove a point that white pap can come out of a black pot.
Thank you. But I would love to ask, what is the role of therapy? What role does therapy play? Because I feel like a lot of people these days are beginning to understand that they need therapy in certain areas. As somebody that has suffered from bipolar disorder, and she never knew it was an issue until it caused serious damage in the marriage. Then we started tracing, because initially it came from a place of a spiritual attack. Along the line, we traced and discovered that she had an issue with bipolar disorder, and then started therapy section. And to an extent, her marriage is beginning to take shape now. What is the role of therapy in helping parents raise children from a place of complete healing? How can they understand that we need therapy? Because a lot of people just believe it's prayer, prayer, prayer. How would they understand that at this point I need therapy, I need to get healing so that I can raise good children?
I'm happy that we are beginning to come to the place of awareness. Gone are those days when people run away from therapy. People are beginning to embrace therapy, and we'll soon get there. Now, this is it. There are solutions to every challenge. We have spiritual solutions, we have scientific solutions, and we have physical solutions. So spiritual solution will not attend to scientific solution. If I need to move from point A to point B, I need scientific solution. That's where I bought a car. So now therapy would help you, because most times what is hurting you, you don't know. I will tell you one thing. There's this lady. She is a banker. She still works in the bank. All she just wanted to do was to make money, give her father money, make money, give her father money. As soon as her father died, she lost hope in life and went into depression. Nobody knew what was happening. Everybody thought it was because she loved her father. It was later when she went for therapy that she realized that it wasn't because she loved her father. The only essence for making money was to prove to her father, who had told her she was the only female child, and her father has constantly told her that, look, a female child cannot amount to anything. Just get old and just grow up and get married and get out of my house. So she wanted to prove a point to her father that, look, I can make money. And she turned out to be, the richest in the family, and kept showing her father that love. But the moment her father died, She lost hope in life. There was nothing more to live for until she came for therapy. It was a therapy who helped her to create another goal in life that gave her reason to live. So you need to come for therapy because it will help you see what actually is hurting you. That lady would never have known that that was what was driving her. I have another client whose parents also pushed to the wall like that. And all he's been doing is just make money, buy cars, buy things he would never need just to show people. If you say good morning, this is me exaggerating, but I'm telling you that he's almost behaving like that. If you say good morning, he would almost reach out and give you money. Just for saying good morning. His essence is just to live, to show to people that I have arrived. And that's not the essence of life. But right now we're trying to help him, to create other goals so that he would know that life is beyond proving a point to people. Life is lived for purpose. So when you don't assess it, you may not even know it. Therapists are trained to know what is controlling you. It's a psychological thing. It's a psychological thing. So you need to approach therapy. Like I said, therapy is not for mad people, it's not for mentally insane people. It is for people who want to move from point A to point B, people who are stuck. That's who therapy is. And somebody who is professionally trained will be able to listen to you and mostly hear what you are not saying and be able to say, look, you see, from what you have been through, this is the significant experience you have had that has kept you stuck. And if you don't want to ruin the lives of your children and allow them to live their own lives, not that you fail to be a medical doctor, then your child must become a medical doctor. And then at the end of the day, that child grows up to become a miserable medical doctor. I don't know if you know, we have miserable medical doctors, we have miserable professors, and these are people whose lives were triangulated by their parents' trauma. Now they are in fields that they don't know what they are doing there, barely living and eking out bread and butter.
Thank you very much. But before I let you go, because we've spent a lot of time and you've done justice to this topic within this few minutes. Now, what is your final word and advice to parents who are struggling to get out of this situation, but they can't really place where the problem is? Because it's one thing to realize, another thing to, most people don't even realize that they are parenting their children from a place of unhealed wounds. What's your final advice to them as we round up the show?
My final advice is that whatever is superior to you is superior to you. Whatever is above you is above you. So you must come to the place of understanding that this is beyond me. So I need help. So that's the reason why that word help exists. There's something we call a complete sentence called a cry for help. If you do not cry for help, nobody would know you need help. But bear in mind that you have been brought here to transport other people to their own destinies. If their destinies are truncated, just like God said to the man that he gave talent who went to hide it, some of us might hear that because we fail to embrace what would have helped us to allow the lights of these children to shine brighter. So embrace what will help you today so that you too can die happy and also die empty.
Thank you so much for doing justice to this topic within the short. And please, we are sorry for keeping you. I guess the network was being funny this morning. But thank you for still giving us what we want. Thank you, thank you. Have a great day ahead. We have been having the conversation parenting from unhealed wounds, and our guest joined us all the way from Ibadan. Yes, Oluremi Lawa is always joining us from Ibadan. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right, tomorrow is Thursday. It's healthy. It's our healthy Thursday. I almost said Wednesday because I don't want the week to run fast, but I want it to go fast, Jerry. So tomorrow is healthy Thursday, and we'll be discussing the importance of water to the body. How important is water? For those of you that don't drink water, you think, what is water? But I take one, I drink now, I drink small. Tomorrow, our medical team will be here to take us through the journey of how important water is to our body. Thank you so much for holding on and staying on with us this morning on the show. Even though we had a little bit here and there, at least we understood the topic. That's it. Remi Lawa, even if he has 5 minutes, he would always deliver, and that is what is important to us. that you get the message. Thank you so much. I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu. I'll see you tomorrow. The next program is up here on Galaxy Television. Don't go anywhere. Just keep a date with us. Bye for now.